You earn more money than you did 5 years ago, your paycheck is bigger, your title more impressive. You've upgraded your life piece by piece, the latest smartphone, the designer clothes, maybe even a newer car. On paper, you are succeeding, accumulating the very things society tells us are markers of a good life. And yet, in the quiet moments, there's a nagging feeling. You don't actually feel richer. The thrill of a new purchase fades, quickly replaced by the desire for the next thing. It's a treadmill of wanting, a gilded cage. Why? Because wealth without wisdom is not freedom, it's a sophisticated trap. This isn't a new problem. 2,000 years ago, in the heart of the Roman Empire, the Stoics saw this same pattern. Thinkers like Seneca, a man of immense wealth, Epictetus, a former slave, and Marcus Aurelius, an emperor, all grappled with this paradox. They observed how the relentless pursuit of external things, money, status, luxury, led not to happiness but to anxiety, envy, and a profound sense of inner poverty. They taught that true wealth isn't found in the abundance of what we own, but in the scarcity of what we desire. Today, we'll explore the psychological reasons you never feel rich no matter how much you earn. We will then uncover the timeless Stoic principles that can help you break free from this endless cycle of wanting more, and finally find a lasting sense of richness that no amount of money can buy. Modern psychology calls it the hedonic treadmill. It's a powerful psychological concept suggesting that we each have a stable baseline of happiness, and no matter what happens, good or bad, we eventually return to it. But long before modern science put a name to it, the Stoics called it insatiable desire. The ancient philosophers of Greece and Rome understood this human tendency intuitively. They didn't have brain scanners, but they had keen insight into our nature, recognizing the endless pursuit of external things that can never truly fill an internal void. Epictetus, a man born into slavery who rose to become a respected philosopher, put it perfectly. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This wasn't just a clever phrase, it was a survival strategy. Epictetus knew that true freedom couldn't be found in things that could be taken away. He argued that our wants are a form of self-imposed poverty. By constantly wanting more, we are telling ourselves that what we have right now is not enough. We are, in effect, choosing to be poor in spirit, regardless of the size of our bank account. Every time you buy something, your brain adjusts. This process is called hedonic adaptation. The initial thrill of a new purchase, that dopamine hit, is intoxicating, but our minds are designed to normalize experiences. What once felt like a luxury quickly becomes the new normal, and from this new normal we begin to crave the next level up. That's why the new phone, the bigger house, the nicer car, they never truly satisfy. The happiness they promise is conditional and temporary. You're not actually pursuing the object itself, you're pursuing the feeling you think the object will give you. But because that feeling is fleeting, the pursuit becomes endless. You're not building a life of contentment, you're just running in place. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in the Roman Empire, warned, "It is not the man who has too little but the man who craves more that is poor." He wasn't against wealth itself, his warning was about the psychology of desire. He saw that true poverty wasn't a lack of possessions but an abundance of craving. It's the mindset that says, if only I had more then I'd be happy. This, to Seneca, was the real trap. So if you're always upgrading but never feeling content, you're stuck on this treadmill. It's a race with no finish line, a cycle of effort and exhaustion that leaves you feeling empty, no matter how much you accumulate. The Stoics believed the only way to win is to step off. The ancient Stoics were keenly aware of a poison that corrodes happiness, the trap of comparison. They understood that looking outward to measure our worth is a recipe for perpetual dissatisfaction. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, constantly had to remind himself in his private journals, "Don't waste your time thinking about others, unless it is to help them. Why would you trade your peace of mind for what they do or say?" He knew that our primary duty is to our own character, our own actions. Let that be enough. This ancient wisdom is more relevant than ever in the age of social media. These platforms are engineered to be comparison engines. We endlessly scroll through a curated fantasy, a highlight reel of life's most glamorous moments. We see the vacation, not the debt it took to pay for it. We see the perfect family photo, not the argument that happened moments before. We are constantly comparing our messy, complicated, behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's polished final cut. This creates a pervasive sense of envy and inadequacy. The result is a distorted perception of wealth and success. You might feel poor, not because you truly lack what you need, but because your reference point has become a billionaire influencer on a yacht. Your perfectly good life can suddenly feel like a failure when measured against an impossible, digitally constructed standard. This is the tyranny of relative poverty, where our contentment is stolen not by our circumstances, but by our comparisons. So, what is the Stoic solution? It is a radical shift in focus, from the external to the internal. Instead of measuring your life against the curated wealth of others, measure yourself against who you were yesterday. Are you more patient, more courageous, more disciplined? This is the path to what the Stoics called eudaimonia, a state of flourishing that comes from living a life of virtue and self-mastery. It begins with the conscious decision to reclaim your attention, to put down the device, and to focus on the only game that truly matters, the improvement of your own soul. To the Stoics, wealth was not money, it was freedom. Freedom from dependence on things outside your control. Epictetus taught, "Seek not the good in external things, seek it in yourself." Wealth is time to think. Wealth is a mind untroubled by envy. Wealth is the ability to say, "I already have enough." When you adopt this mindset, even modest possessions feel abundant. When you adopt this mindset, even modest possessions feel abundant. Echoing. Here's how you apply this today. 1. Practice voluntary simplicity. Go 1 week without buying anything unnecessary. Notice how much you already have. 1. Journal on desires. Write down what you want, then ask, will this actually make me better, or is it just noise? 1. Redirect excess. Instead of chasing endless upgrades, invest in financial security, emergencies, freedom, future peace of mind. By combining Stoic discipline with smart financial habits, you create not just wealth but lasting contentment. Maybe you don't feel rich because you've been chasing the wrong definition of wealth. The Stoics remind us, enough is a decision, not a number. When you step off the treadmill of desire, you'll find that you already hold more than you ever realized. If you found value in this lesson, subscribe for more Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. And remember, true wealth is freedom of the mind.